Namaste students and welcome to our English class. Welcome to the learning series of Englishwood. And today we are going to discuss about article. This topic is very common topic. You have been learning from very early classes, but even though you have studied every year, it is not so easy. Okay, sometimes it's very confusing. Therefore, the best way to use the article is to learn the various English text, okay, so that you can obviously able to use the articles, but we're going to learn some of the rules. Article is a part of speech that indicates, that it specifies, that limits a noun, okay, and a, an, or the in English are known as the articles. So here a part of speech, remember, what does this part of speech, look at this, okay, parts of speech means, okay, there are 8 parts of speech: noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjectives, okay, preposition, conjunction, interjections, right? So it's very important for the students to learn what these parts of speech, that is also important part of learning language. So when we say this is a part of this speech, then they are under the demonstrative adjectives. So these are, so articles are actually the adjectives. So the adjectives a, sometimes also called or an, and the are usually called articles, and these are basically demonstrative adjectives. They are noun makers or determiners, okay, and they are noun maker means they make noun, okay, they talk something about noun, they determine the nouns. Articles are normally followed by a noun or a noun phrase, okay. After a, an, or the, we use noun or noun phrase. Sometimes we don't use articles before a noun, that is called nothing, or the zero articles or no articles. It's not necessary that we use all the time a or an or the before the nouns. Okay, we do not use sometimes, and therefore at the time we will call the no articles. So basically types. There are 2 types of articles. There are definite article, that is the, and indefinite articles, they are a or an, right? The is called definite article because it normally points out some particular person or thing, all right? So it defines a particular person or thing. Therefore, this is known as the definite article. Yes, you saw the doctor. The meaning is some particular doctor. We're talking about when we say the doctor, we're talking about a particular doctor. Okay, who cured you? Okay, who who did the treatment of your parents? An is called indefinite article because it usually leaves indefinite the person or thing spoken of. Okay, so it does not define the person or thing. Okay, so any one. So at that time we use a or an. Right? For example, a doctor. That is any doctor. Okay. If you say a doctor, then you are not concerned with any particular doctor, any doctor of any place. Okay, that's the difference. So now let's talk about the use of a or an. Okay, so I'm going faster. All right, I'm going faster, and when you are in need, you can pause the video and you can learn. All right, so it has a numerical sense of one and uncertain sense of any. So we use a or n to say one, to say the number is one, or to say it refers to anyone. Okay, so that is the use of a or n in general sense. Okay, so you use a or n with a singular countable noun. Okay, remember, countable noun that can be counted, and with singular, that means when you want to say only one, then at the time you use a or n, right? Use a with a noun that starts with a consonant sound. So remember, vowel sounds and consonant sounds of English pronunciation we have discussed in our classroom too. Okay, there are 24 consonant sounds and 12 vowel sounds. Okay, so before the consonant sounds we use a, for example, a doll, a pilot. Okay, but we use n with a noun that starts with a vowel sound. Okay, example, an apple, an umbrella, etc. So note that in most cases the letters E, O, and U, which are basically vowel, okay, in nature, are pronounced as vowel sounds. But sometimes, okay, remember that. Sometimes, okay. Remember, sometimes they are pronounced as consonants. Okay, so E is not all the time E. It might be something else. O is not all the time O. Okay, U is not all the time U. All right. So, for example, an engineer. Here, E is a sound. Engineer, we call an engineer. So, is A is a vowel sound. Okay, and therefore N. But here E is not A, it is U, Y sound in phonetic transcription. So I also recommend the students to learn the phonetic transcription also. It is always important in English. So we say a European, not by looking this E, we do not use N. Okay. Previously, we used to say before A, E, I, O, U, which are vowel alphabets, we use N. No, it's not all the time. It depends on the sound. So, a European, so U sound is here. A eucalyptus, this E is a eucalyptus, so therefore, a eucalyptus, not an eucalyptus. Therefore, pronunciation of the word is important rather than the rules. So an ox. So this sound is O sound. Ox. An ox. O sound alphabet. A. This is a one-eyed man because on is not on is not O. Okay, not O sound. Not like this O. Okay, it's not like this O. Remember, it's not like this O sound. But okay, this is O sound. O is one. Okay, one. In British English, we call it one. Sometimes we call it one noise. Okay, so therefore, and not an or one-eyed man. Okay, so sometimes W, O, and one. This is also written one. Okay. So this is what is very important to remember. Okay, all right. So I'm erasing this point here. Okay, let it do it later on. Erase all. Okay. So now, next one is an uncle. Okay. Ah, this U is also is R sound. This is vowel sound. Uncle, an uncle. So R sound. Therefore, an uncle. But here is U sound like this, U sound. So a user, a useless car. A U-turn. Okay, we call this in Nepali. This is in Nepali. This is U sound. Okay, U-turn. U-turns and in phonetic transcription it is U. Okay, it's U-turn. All right, so U-turn we call it a U-turn. Okay, similarly, and urgent here is O sound. Okay, it is O sound. This O sound, urgent O sound. Okay, O sound, urgent message. But here is U sound, a uses, a university. Okay, same U, right? So therefore, before university we use O or A. Before uses, you use O. sometimes use. So a is strong a unit, okay, like that. So when you talk about some of the abbreviations, okay, an abbreviation whose first letter has a vowel sound comes with an, simple, okay. Vowel sound comes with an, all right. Then a consonant sound comes with a, right, and so simple, okay. When abbreviation comes with vowel sound and consonant sound a, okay. SOS. So we say SOS. So we say A sound. A sound. A sound. This is in Nepali. Okay. So also in Nepali, also if it comes from O to aha, then this is N. If it comes from Ko to Ga, this is A. So SOS message and SOS message, but UFO. And am a student, okay. I will be an M student in the future. And MA is N, but a BA, an NTC, but a VIP, an SLC candidate, okay, UNESCO office, etc. With the H spelling, look at this one. Singular countable nouns that it starts with the H letter comes with a when it is pronounced, okay. For example, when H is pronounced, then we use a hamburger, a horse, a house, a hat, a hall, okay? But N when it is silent, when H is silent, then it comes with N. For example, we don't say an hour, we say an hour. Oh, this H is silent, this H is out, okay? An hour, okay? And honest, ONES, honest, okay? And honest, not honest, okay? An honest person, and air. So we call it air. No, it's not hair. EIR is air, air. You are the right ear of your parents. Okay? So an Aries, right? Use of ARN with the singular countable nouns in the sense of one. We discussed already. It has a sense of one. Robin has a cat and a dog. Okay, that means he has one cat and one dog. Okay, Suman has an one ox. With jobs or professions, we use, for example, Mahendra is a doctor and his wife is a nurse. Okay, Deepak is an engineer. Note that in such plus single noun we use a or an. For example, I want such a dress. Okay, such a book. Such a book is essential for children, right? Such a boy cannot solve the puzzle. Okay, with singular exclamations. For example, what a beautiful, what a beautiful, what a beautiful picture. How fine a day it is. Okay, what an adorable child. What an adorable child. Okay, such a boring party. Okay, we don't say such the boring party. Okay, we don't say such boring party, but such a boring party. So you have to be familiar with the sentence structures. Then it comes obviously to mean each or every. For example, they come here once a week. Okay, so they come once every week. All right. So see on 6,000 a month. Okay, see on 6,000 every month, each month. So when they mean each or every, we use o, or an. I brush my teeth twice a day. He comes here once a year. With units of countable nouns, also we use a or n. For example, a piece of wood, a drop of dew, a plate of rice, a bar of chocolate, a pinch of salt. Okay. With some phrases like a few friends, a little salad, a kilo, a meter, a dozen, 100, 1,000, a million, a billion, a little, a number of students, a bunch of flowers, okay, etc. Okay, so they obviously we use And let's say with other expression, have a drink, have a wash, have a bite, have a bath, have a look, have a try, have a rest, have a say, take a rest, take a look. In a low voice, in a whisper, in a hungry, on a diet, I'm on a diet, make a complaint. In an accident, as a result, as a rule. In a bad temper, light a fire a short time ago. Uses of now, let's go to the uses of the the. When we talk about a particular personal thing or one already referred to, okay, that is when it is clear from the context which one we mean as, okay. So when you talk about a particular personal thing, we use the, okay. Or according to context, when it's clear, then we use the, okay. This is or are, and clear from the context, okay. It is C as, okay. The book you want is out of print, okay. That means which book? The one you wanted, okay. One you wanted, therefore we say the book. A book not. The book you want is out of print. Which book? The book you wanted, right? I saw an animal. The animal was really interesting. So, an animal. You saw an animal. Now you want to refer to the context, okay, which you already explained. So the animal was really interesting. Let's go to the park. So when you say go to the park, then your friend knows that you're talking about the park which is in Lalitpur, which is the famous park, okay? So like that, we use the. We use the when a singular noun is meant to represent the whole class. This is also important use of the, okay? So when a singular noun referring to a whole class, we use the. For example, the cow is a useful animal. That means, or we may say, cows are useful animals. So the cow is a useful animal means cows are useful animals. Okay, we don't say a cow is an useful. We can sometimes say a cow is an useful animal, but that is not the correct sentence. The horse is a noble animal. Okay, it represents that all the horses are basically noble in nature. The rose is the sweetest of all flowers. Okay, that means we talk about we talk about the whole roses. Okay, they are sweetest of all flowers. But man and woman can be used without articles. For example, man is the only animal that uses fire. We don't say the man is the only animal. Okay, it is not normally. The is not used. Therefore, it's about the language of the native speakers. Okay, if they use the before, then it is used. If they don't use, no use. That is the problem. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, woman is man's mate. Okay, so it is the man mate. So it is representing all the men, representing all the men. So more uses of the is with the superlatives. Very important. With the superlatives, we use the superlatives degree. Okay, high, higher, highest. Positive degree, comparative degree, and the superlative degree. Mount Everest is the, okay, the highest mountain. Common sentence, common word. Okay, which is the most, okay, the most excellent idea for us. The. Then we use the only. For example, Moes was the only person who danced in the party. The only person. We say only, not the only. So only is already a one. So these are the ideas. I'm the only person who could solve the problem. Okay? The only. So before only, use the only. Remember? The same also. For example, Mina and the Tina are the same. We use the with the same. Remember, that means they are like the phrase. The same. They study in the same school. The same school. We arrived at the party at the same time. The same time. Okay. So remember the same. Only one in the town. Okay. When something is only one in the town, in the universe. Okay. We use the. For example, the police, the army, the fire brigade, the city center. Okay. The Labi Mahal is the city center. Always use the with the names of the following nouns. For example, religious books, very famous religious, the Ramayana, the Quran, the Bible, etc. Newspaper, the Kandipur, the Rising Nepal, the Gorkha Patra, etc. Famous ships, the Titanic, the Queen Mary, right? Political parties, the Nepali Congress, the Communist Party, okay? Titles, the PM, the President, okay? River sense is the Karnali, the Caribbean Sea, okay? Deserts and canals, the Sahara Desert, the Panama Canal, Gifts, gulfs and peninsulas, the Persian Gulf, the Iberian Peninsula, oceans and islands, the Atlantic Ocean, the Isle of Man, plural names of countries, the Netherlands, the Philippines, the United States, the West Indies, okay? Though is also used with the geographical names like the Republic of Ireland, the United States of America, the UK. So the idea is you have to remember, learn, okay? When you use this in English, it obviously comes. The nationality adjectives, the English, the French, the Nepalese, the Italian, etc. The American, the Nepali, okay? Plural names of families like the Gurung, the Yadavs, okay? Periods of history, the Stone Age, the Modern Age, etc. Historic events, the Marius Day, the Independence Day. Famous hotels, the Yak and Etty, the Salty. Museums and libraries, the National Museums, the American Library, the British Library, etc. Then historical buildings, the Pasupatina Temple, the Castamandam, the Eiffel Tower. Historical monuments, the Statue of Liberty. Theaters and clubs, the Jai Nepal, the Kumari, the Lions Club, the Rotary Club. Geographical areas like the Middle East, the West. Celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, the universe, okay? The heavenly bodies in the sky, in the universe. Mountain ranges, the Himalayas, the Alps. So note, the names of single mountains do not take any articles. For example, we don't say Mount Everest. Okay, we don't say the Mount Everest is the, no, okay. Mount Makalu we use when they are referring the various mountain range. Okay, when referring the mountain range. Okay, at that time we call the. Use the in the following cases also: points of the globe, the equator, the north, parts in the houses, the kitchen, the bedroom, inventions, who invented the radio and the telephone, okay? Directions, the east, the west, the dawn, the north, the south. Daybreaks in the morning, in the afternoon. I woke up in the morning, early in the morning, okay? In the afternoon time, simple, not in the afternoon time, okay? So similarly, physical positions like the tops, the bottom, the left, okay? Ordinal normals, the first, the second, the third boy of our class, okay? Also use the with periods of 10 years, the 30s, okay, the 60s, the 20s, okay, the 70s. Proper nouns when they are qualified, the great Caesar, the immortal Shakespeare, okay? So even the proper, generally we don't use we don't use articles before proper noun. Like Ram, Sam, Sita, we never say the Ram, the Sita, but when you want to qualify them, then we use articles. The great Shakespeare, the immortal Shakespeare, Caesar. Adjectives representing social groups like the blind, the rich, the elderly, the unemployed, okay? The rich are spending bad life, something like that. Parallel comparatives, like the more you practice, the more you learn, okay? So these are use of articles already you have been using, okay? In your daily life too. The more one has, the more one wants, okay? Thank you very much. Please share, comment, and subscribe my channel. You can learn from a lot of grammatical items from there too. Thanks. Okay, children. We'll discuss about these things, and I'll give you some of the exercises also. Please, you can do the exercise too. Thank you.